What's up guys, I'm back with another video, and today we're going to do another yield farming update for the middle of June. But before we get into it guys, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and look guys, if you want to stay up to date on the latest things, join my Telegram announcement channel, because the reality is I can only pump out videos so fast, and for the most up-to-date information I'm dropping it in my Telegram, on my Twitter, on my Instagram, so join up. Alright, let's get into it. So what I'm going to go over today is my thoughts on the general yield farming scene and just the middle of June update on what I think are some of the better farms on primarily BSC, so Binance Smart Chain, and Polygon, because really those are the two main places where a lot of the yield farming action is happening. There is yield farming that is happening on Solana and on Phantom and on Avalanche and some of the other smaller chains, but the reality is farming there is just not good. Okay, it's not as good as Binance Smart Chain and Polygon, and that's just facts right now. And I'm not talking about what we call degen farms or more risky farms. I'm talking about big, large, stable platforms where your risk is not zero, but your risk is lower, right? So the first farm let's talk about is BSC. So when BSC first came out, it was a little bit sketch. Obviously they didn't have audits and whatnot done, but recently they completed as you can see up in here in their banner, a CERTIC audit, right? So that's a high tier audit. It doesn't mean they're completely safe, but once we saw that audit come out, we really saw a lot of people pile into BSC. And as you can see, the TVL, you can't see it on my screen right now, but it's $281 million. So their TVL is respectable, right? So why I like BSC is because they just have so many different pairs, and that's what I like to see. I like seeing farms where they continually are putting out pairs. What I don't like is, I understand why farms do it, is some farms will really have their native pair and they'll try to really not provide other pairs. And to be honest with you, I understand they do that because they want to push you to use their native token, but the reality is no one cares, right? Like, here's the reality guys, nobody cares about this BSW token unless this token actually does anything. I don't care about it, right? It's useless to me, right? It's just a farming token, right? I care about tokens like iron, or obviously BUSD, or if I cared about Bunny, which I don't anymore after their hack, but if I did, that's a more respectable token, or Bake, or Filecoin, right? So what I like to see though about BSC is they're adding all these pairs, right? It provides people a nice opportunity to come in here and farm, right? So, and their APRs are still good, right? So if you're farming ETH at 66% APR, like that's 0.18% a day, like that's amazing, right? Because you're getting to hold ETH and BNB, which are great coins paired together, major altcoins, and you're getting a respectable APR, right? So BSC I think is one of the better places to farm on BSC. Another farm that I really like is ApeSwap, and the reason why I like ApeSwap is, again, the pairs that they offer, right? So I've been farming in ApeSwap for a long time, right? A long time. Really, when I got into ApeSwap was when they launched. Okay, and when they launched, they had nothing. They had like Banana, and I think Banana BNB, Banana USD, and like that's it. Like you could only farm their degen token, and so I've been farming since then, right? Literally that's when really the yield farming scene really like properly took off on BSC. Is really, I think, around the time Banana and Goose and those early farms really came out. So and they've come a long way, right? So the unfortunate reality is, as these farms get more popular, the APRs drop, right? So if you look at some of the more popular pairs, you're going to see the APRs are down, right? But what I like about them is they keep adding new pairs, and I like the fact that they have these unique major altcoin pairs that you don't find in other places, right? They have Avalanche BNB, they have Matic BNB. So some people would be saying like, well, why would you have Matic on Binance Smart Chain? Why would you have Avalanche? Why don't you just, it's like, well, because I can own these assets and I can farm them on respectable chains, right? So because right now I don't like how the farming is on Avalanche. I don't like it. So I like the fact that I can buy Avalanche, have it on BSC, pair it with my BNB, and farm, at a reasonable APR. Most of my Matic is on Polygon Matic, but I do have some Matic over here, and so I had some spare funds, and so I some spare USDC, so I said I'll just put in some Matic, and I can pair it with my BNB and farm at a respectable rate. So and I like they have other pairs like AVAX, just the assortment of pairs they have is just great. Another thing about the Ape swap ecosystem that I think is great is Ape Rocket. So Ape Rocket is an auto compounder, and if you're if you have Banana BNB or whatever, Banana BUSD, it'll auto compound it for you. So you can slot it into these pools, and it will increase the amount of LP you have, and then it'll also increase the amount of it'll compound you extra what are called space tokens, right? And you can either keep these or you could sell them, right? But you're basically, it's auto compounding your earnings. So I think it's a nice attachment to the Ape Swap ecosystem, because it allows you an opportunity to auto compound. And so these aren't the only great farms on BSC right now. There's definitely a lot more, but I think these are really the better ones. There are other farms like Auto Farm and Pancake Swap, and then I think at this point we're really past what I'd say is the degen farming season, which is what early BSC was all about, kind of jumping from farm to farm. I think these days most people are looking for more safer, more stable farms that are less likely to rug pull you and steal your money in that. But there are some people that still chase those quick gains and looking at hopping to a farm and hopping out of that farm, hopping to a new farm. I'm just not about that game anymore. It just takes too much management. It's just too stressful worrying about if you're gonna get hacked or not. Not to say you can't get hacked, you can't get your rug pulled, or you can't get your funds stolen in these farms. But I'd say that these are farms that have been around and kind of proven their reputation in the game so far. So next we're going to talk about Polygon. So Polygon is really, I'd say, I've mentioned in videos before, but Polygon is really the next frontier for farming. Now, when Polygon first started, it really didn't seem that way, because there really wasn't many options. As soon as Polycat came on the scene, I think that's when things really started to change, because again, what you really need is you need farms that are actually going to innovate, right? It happens in Binance, it happens in Polygon, it happens in Phantom, it happens all over the places. You have a lot of farms that are just cash grabs for the devs, right? And they're farms that come out, the devs don't really care about doing anything other than just making their cut. And then you have farms that are actually trying to do stuff, and that's what Polycat is, right? They're a farm that's actually trying to do things. So if you come on here and you look around, you can see that they're actually trying to innovate. And when you see that, it actually, what it does is it allows for their native token to hold value. And if their native token holds value, then their farm holds value. And you can see by what they're doing is they're innovating, right? They have, they're coming up with IFOs, and really what changed the game for them is they came up with auto compounding vaults. So, vaults where you can, pair up your assets, put it in there, and it just auto compounds it at reasonable APRs with a, reasonable withdrawal fee. And that's what people like to see, right? And so and they're constantly innovating, right? Like, I don't even remember seeing these pairs. I think these are new pairs. They must have added these in the last few days. But they have just lots of different pairs that you can pick from, right? Everything from like Link S to BTC USD, if you wanted to pair that, if you wanted to pair Matic USD at reasonable APRs, right? 0.65% for Matic USDC, like that's good daily earnings, right? So they also have other pools. I think I've shown this before. They're single asset pools, but unfortunately you do pay a deposit fee, and really these days I'm trying my hardest to avoid these silly 4% deposit fees, because you're just wasting your money, right? Like, why would I want to pay 4%, right? I'm earning, and then to earn an APR of 0.25, like how long do I need to farm to make that deposit fee? Like that's just a waste of time. So I really no longer recommend I don't recommend anything, but I personally, I think this is just a waste of time and money. Unless, the only time it makes sense is if you get into a farm early and you can ROI that deposit fee back really quickly. But then again, then you're getting into more, what we call degen farming, because, if that's the case, what's going to happen is, you're getting into the farm so early that, it's risky to get into a farm early on, right? So that's the thing. So moving on from this, there's two other farms that I think are, quote unquote premier. If you've been following my channel, and if you've been following my Telegram announcement channel, you know about Iron Finance, right? So Iron Finance is an older farm, and they actually come from BSC. So they started on BSC, and then they moved to Polygon, and they have been crazy successful. Look at this, $2 billion of TVL, and this has blown up just in the past week, right? Titan, their native token, $39. Okay, look how cheap this was before, right? This I think dropped down as low as 30 cents, and it's just exploded right now. Who knows how long this growth can sustain, but Iron Finance has really proven themselves as a heavyweight in the game of farming, right? So like I said, they started on BSC. Their main kind of focus is they're trying to pair what they call the Iron token, which is a algorithmic stablecoin that is supposed to be pegged to the US dollar. So as you can see, it's really held its peg, right? For a short time it was 1.03, okay, but really it's really held its peg, throughout time, right? At one point, but this is a mini dip to 99 cents, right? So it's held its peg. So and the main thing is, if you come to their farms on Polygon, you can really see how crazy this is, right? So you have stable pairs, Iron USDC at 555% APR. That's crazy. Now, I'm not going to call this a stable coin pair because, Iron is not a true stable coin, right? It's an algorithmic stable coin, and it's obviously not an algorithmic stable coin that has any sort of weight compared to something like DAI, right? This is it's risky, right? Because anything could happen. This thing could suddenly lose its peg. I don't know. They've held their peg this whole time, but you never know, right? So it is riskier, and with higher risk comes higher reward. That's where you're seeing these APRs, right? So they basically they've proven themselves, and they're definitely a heavyweight in the Polygon Matic ecosystem. Okay, so the last farm I want to talk about is one that actually, again, is a project that bridged from BSC to Polygon, and is a heavyweight in the BSC ecosystem, and that's Walt Finance, right? So Walt has now bridged to Polygon, and again, Walt on BSC is still great, right? They still have great pairs. They still have reasonably great APRs for the major pairs that they're providing. They have their Walt token, which is their launchpad based token, but now they've come to Polygon, and again, they offer amazing Polygon based pairs. Matic ETH at 169.1 APR, Matic USDC. Let's just arrange this by APR. So this is obviously their degen token. If you're in this, 3.9%. Obviously, you're getting rewarded for holding a degen token. Their launchpad token, and then now you get into these sort of what I would call regular pairs, right? So Synthetics ETH, Matic USDC, Matic ETH, Link ETH, with reasonably great APRs, right? And you can see the TVL speaks for itself, $650 million, right? So Walt is another one of the heavyweights in the Polygon Matic ecosystem, and so these are really the farms that I think are kind of the places to be right now. There are other farms, I'm not in every farm. There's too many to even go over, but these are kind of the main ones that are really the premier ones. Now, there's farming on Solana, there's farming on Phantom. Look, I'll be honest with you, my Solana farm is just there's Radium and there's nothing else, right? and Radium is nothing to really I'd say really be happy about it. Radium is just if you want to farm on Solana, just Radium's the only choice you have. I think to be honest with you, Radium sucks. Okay, it is a terribly slow platform. Solana has a long way to go. Okay, I don't see Solana really going anywhere anytime soon. They really got to pick it up, because at the end of the day, nobody cares about whether you're using, nobody cares if they're on Polygon or BSC or anything, right? People are just moving to where the projects are, and they're moving to where the yield farming is, and that's the reality, right? At the end of the day, the average person doesn't care about this blockchain or that blockchain or anything else, right? They're not interested. And that's the issue with Avalanche. That's the issue with Phantom right now, is the farming there just sucks, right? Like I don't know how anyone could say that the farming on Phantom is great right now. It's not. It sucks. It's terrible. I have some stuff on Phantom though. I'm just in some auto compounding pools on Beefy, right? Because the farming otherwise just sucks, right? And that's just facts. So I'm hoping that things improve with Phantom. I still like Phantom. I'm really bullish on Phantom. I've got a lot of Phantom, but like I said, I'm just not chasing things on there. I'm just auto compounding, and I'll come back to it in whenever, when the bull market restarts and farming picks up on Phantom, I'll be back. But as far as things are now, there's just not much happening there. So again, guys, hope you enjoyed the update on yield farming. I'll be back with some other videos. Again, we'll go over some yield farms, we'll go over some meme coins and tokens, maybe some general market updates, and we'll take it from there. So check out these farms I've listed here. But again, if you guys want to stay up to date on things, join the Telegram announcement channel. Like, it's just a no-brainer. I post a couple updates a day, just on some new farms that I come across, or new things that I come across, new things that I think are maybe hot picks, strong meme coins, to really kind of get some quick gains. So yeah, hit it up. Join the Telegram announcement channel. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram, and subscribe, like the videos, and we'll take it from there. All right, I'll see you next time.